Yo, my name is Dini Mussolini. I am the grand host and creator of Skeptix. This is a show that's all about honesty, redemption, and transparency. Different co-hosts will frequent these episodes and guest star with me to tell their perspectives and their opinions. We are just saying that we're skeptical of the government, of religion, rumors, skeptical of people, and skeptical of the handshake. So, yo, this is a judge-free environment. Well, don't quote me on that. Anyway, here we go.
This right here is for my people, all of my people, wherever you at. This was for you. I want you to lay back and vibe out to this. Because this right here, this that music that's gonna get your mind right. Heard?
This one is for my people. Niggas don't even know how much I really love you. No one in this world is equal. Faking, thinking they persuasive. Talking about take it or leave it. Easy, I think that I leave it. Even if it means we gon' be beefing for any reason. I'm never committing treason against the camp. Seasoned veteran, he's a better man. Understand that we can never let any man divide the design of the divine when she's fulfilling plans. Seldom do they measure up to us, that's the difference. We on a bigger scale. If it's real, listen here, shit is raw. Put us up on a fish scale with some kilograms. My love is unconditional, but it's getting cold when it comes to doing the math, and I don't see no reciprocals. It's difficult, so I'm sitting alone, thinking about how I was raised and how I have grown, and how some of my people changed out on this road when we vowed to never be torn. We could have had everything we ever dreamed of when we teamed up, but seems it was never enough. We could have had everything we ever dreamed of when we teamed up, but seems it was never enough. Now it's gone.
Thank you so much for taking out this time to think about the price we pay each day while we out here trying to find any way, every way to make it out here every day. Many get lost on this road from being led astray, but I see better days ahead. Yeah, I see better days.
We're gonna send this one out to all the children of the world in the eyes of the Most High.
Yeah, I see better days.
Sending this one out to all the children in my town and my people in Chi-Town. It's a state of emergency cause it hurts me whenever I see we out here being shot down. How many mothers gonna have to lose their sons? How many brothers gonna have to be put under? How many innocent little children have to get caught up in a mix just cause somebody tripped? If it's over hoes, why everybody poked? And if it's over though, why everybody broke? I bet you that we deserve better, yeah, due to vendettas we settle for lesser. The message has never been clearer, we must suffer from some type of fear of coming together. Therefore, since you didn't want to listen, they building more prisons, and guess what they filling up with niggas. Still, what's the fucking difference if you're reckless out here acting ignorant? What could have happened if you would have practiced wisdom, realizing only when it's too late after the system tricks them to throw their life away? Is it right? No way. It's sickening thinking how would a price to pay? Our mission is really for a brighter day when the sky is gray that we facing or waiting for the sun just to shine our way.
Thank you so much for taking out this time to think about the price we pay each day while we out here trying to find any way, every way to make it out here every day. Many get lost on this road from being led astray, but I see better days ahead. Yeah, I see better days. Boy, I see better days. Yeah, I see better days.
Better days. That's all I see. That's all you should see. No?
You're now listening to GNO Sounds, Better Days. That's right. Show me you are real. What do you stand for? Hello world, and welcome to another episode of Skeptix, where we dive in deep with people who are Christians, Buddhists, atheists, Muslims, study meta and quantum physics, can talk about opening your third eye, chakras, Kemet, healing crystals, and our indigo children, and all that great stuff. Are we debunkers? Nah, I don't think so. Are we great debaters? Yes. And we are on a quest of understanding, understanding, and overstanding. If you'd like to be a guest on our show or join in on our live and open conversation, chime in by dialing 701-801-9813 or joining the mix by visiting www.onlyOnevideogroup.com/Vigilantes Radio. And make sure you slap that go live button. All episodes are available for free download. I am your host tonight, Dini Mussolini, along with Yohanan Rael Khan-Unk and Half Deezy and my man Pagosi. Anyway, you're tuned in tonight to Skeptix. The topic of tonight is the Philosopher's Stone. Oh yeah, some magical shit sticks. All right, so before I bring everybody back on, just want to tell you guys about something they call LOVE. Not really, but decide to love what happens before it even happens. Manifest destiny. Choose to love this day before you know what it will bring, and watch how your day unfolds. See the futility of fighting against what is. Instead, embrace the power of acceptance. Don't waste your time waging a battle that's already over. Employ your energy, your resources to make good and meaningful use of what is. Imagine the power of knowing at the start what a great day this will be for you. Think of how effective you can be whenever way things may go, they're definitely going your way because you're bending that energy with your mind. Oh, powerful one you are. But being grateful is one of the most powerful things you can do right now. It's in your best interest to be grateful for as much as you can, indeed for everything. Love the way life unfolds in every way it unfolds. In that spirit of gratitude, love, resourcefulness, and cheer. And you, my friend, will create greatness no matter what. So with that, let me bring my friends back on. Here's Half Deezy.
Yo, what's going on, man?
All right, man. Here's Yohanan Rael Khan-Unk.
What's up? How's everybody doing?
What's up? Chilling. Here is Pagosi.
Yo, everybody, what's up? Pagosi in the house. Much love.
Much love. All right, guys. I wanted to play something from my friends at their podcast, Stuff They Don't Want You to Know, and they covered this subject, but briefly. So I'm gonna play a little clip, and then we'll get into it, the discussion here. All right, so here's my friends from over at Stuff They Don't Want You to Know podcast.
From UFOs to ghost and psychic powers, history is riddled with unexplained events. You can turn back now and learn the stuff they don't want you to know. Here are the facts. Much of human history is defined by the slow, continual struggle to understand the universe around us, whether in spiritual or scientific terms. Some ideas, like phrenology, are debunked shortly after their invention. Others, such as the principles of physics, are the founding concepts of modern civilization. And then there's alchemy. The practice known as alchemy is not uniquely European. Alchemists practiced in ancient India, China, and Egypt. European alchemists believed their traditions descended from Hellenistic Greece, which in turn inherited this knowledge from Egypt and Babylon. Today, the phrase alchemy invokes visions ripped from the pages of fantasy novels, sinister wizards in dusty laboratories, toiling over secretive magical experiments. But what exactly is alchemy, and why do some people think it works? Here's where it gets crazy. In many ways, alchemy can be considered a proto-science, the predecessor of modern-day chemistry. This blend of magic and scientific knowledge was shrouded in superstition and secrecy. Like modern scientists, alchemists attempted experiments in hopes of creating a measurable, reproducible change. However, magical rituals, incantations, and spells would often form part of their work. The goals of European alchemists were equally unorthodox. Many dreamed of discovering the mythical Philosopher's Stone, an object with the ability to turn base metals into gold. Others hoped to prolong their lives through the use of magical elixirs. From this strange overlapping practice of magic and science, alchemists produced some genuine scientific breakthroughs, including discoveries about metallurgy, basic chemistry, and pesticides. And alchemists weren't all villainous charlatans. Practitioners included the intellectual luminaries of their time, such as Roger Bacon and Isaac-Newton. Alchemy's history is also littered with mysterious figures who allegedly managed to accomplish astounding feats. These figures included the enigmatic Count-of-saint-Germain, a European intellectual rumored to have discovered the secret to immortality. Then there's the mythical Hermes Trismegistus, a symbolic figure who, to alchemists, represents the combination of the Greek god Hermes and the Egyptian god Thoth. While this amalgamation of religion and science may seem strange in the modern age, during this time in history the two concepts were inextricably linked. Alchemists were as concerned with philosophical or spiritual aspects of their experiments as they were with physical changes. This approach is most obvious in descriptions of the ultimate alchemical goal, the arcane magnum opus, or great work. The great work is a concept rooted in symbolism and shrouded in codes and riddles. A similar concept of the great work occurs in the practice of Freemasonry. Some conspiracy theorists claim the world's elite have suppressed the practice of alchemy. Predictably, the mainstream dismisses these claims. After all, if magical rituals and esoteric philosophies really could grant eternal life or transform one metal into another, wouldn't the practice be more common? To say the least, it's tough to believe that alchemical experiments somehow worked and were later kept secret by a small group of people for centuries. However, it's also true that alchemists spent a great deal of time obscuring their works. In some cases, it's unclear exactly what they were trying to do. All that mainstream science can say for sure is that the vast majority of alchemical experiments don't work, unless, of course, there's something they don't want you to know.
Yo. See, that's what I was telling you, man. Saint-Germain. That's who I first heard about it affiliated with Saint-Germain.
Right.
You know, because he's the one that, like I was telling you a while back, we had this. We were talking about that. He discovered immortality, and he was supposed to be the one who turned base metal into gold.
Wow.
Man, that was pretty dope, though. That whole little intro.
Yeah. I think that's how we got the topic, man. Me and you were talking about this a few months ago. I was like, you know what? This will make an interesting topic because we don't really explore like the origins of the Philosopher's Stone.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, according to history books, has, you know, the intro or the things that stuff they don't want you to know told us is that most people would like to believe that it came from Europe, but it really came from like India and Egypt and you know, those ancient cultures.
It makes sense.
Yeah, I was gonna chime in and say. Yeah, I was gonna say that. You know, during the Crusades, man, a lot of this information got lost in transition. During, you know, like they were saying about the Islamic faith. When the Islamic faith clashed heads with the Christian faith, a lot of this information got ambiguous throughout time. But the key to what you just said is the word chemistry itself, which is a derivative of the word alchemy. You know, it comes from the word Kemet, which is, you know, what they call Egypt or whatnot. But it's really not even Egypt. It's just a concept that most Egyptians had which was, like we were saying earlier about being one with the universe. And basically, when you look up at night, like right now, you see a dark sky filled with millions, trillions upon billions of lights. And basically what they were saying is the chemical that exists in all living organisms in order for them to exist is melanin, which is the base of carbon, the basis of all life forms. So when you're talking about alchemy, a person has to have that basic, understanding. Yeah, that basic understanding of melanin and carbon, which is, like I said, exists in everything. If it didn't, you wouldn't even be, able to have this conversation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to say that before we got any further, so we can have some clarification on that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what's up.
But that interests me though. That melanin and carbon are just the two bases of existence.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, so melanin is actually molecular composition, and carbon is the basis of the melanin. But it's other elements within the composition of melanin. Carbon is just the most abundant and the more dominant.
Yeah.
And I get into that all the time with people, man. Like the Bible makes a reference in reference to what we're talking about as far as the number of the beast being 666. And anybody with a chemistry background knows that that's the molecular structure for carbon. So in essence, what the Bible is trying to tell you is the number of the beast, which is a man, is that lower self, that root chakra that you're supposed to rise above, that animalistic, that carnal nature inside of man. We're supposed to rise above that to the higher frequencies of the mind and spirit to elevate on a godly plane. And we're supposed to abandon that animalistic behavior to realize the God within us to be able to manifest these things in our life. But like I said, you got so many distractions in this world, man, that, the world is trying to turn you into anything other than yourself. That's the whole goal of this society that we live in. Mm-hmm. It's a huge maze, and you're trying to find your way back home to yourself, which is actually a reflection of this universe. Mm-hmm. But like I said, I want people to have this knowledge because you become dangerous once you possess this type of knowledge.
Mm. Yeah.
Even that the sword and the stone with King Arthur, all of that stuff is dealing with alchemy. All of that. And the stone is actually a metaphor for the pineal gland, because once your pineal gland is calcified, it becomes hard like a stone. Yeah. So basically, in that story, what they were saying is, in order for you to realize your true potential, to pull this sword out of that stone, only one person can do it, and that's you. Nobody else can do it for you. You have to do it yourself. You have to put that work in and do it yourself. It's like I can show you the door to walk through to get to where you're going, but I can't open the door for you.
Yep. Okay.
And everybody tries to look for it outside themselves when really it's inside.
Exactly. That's the whole illusion. And that's why.
Yeah. But hey, guys, like you said, if you go outside and you look up, there's a large universe. So of course we're going to look for it out there because it's a mystery. Where if we look at ourselves, we're like, oh man, we're so small in this universe. I know me. Now I need to get to the next level.
You. You think you know you. Yeah, that's because true. If that what we are, like Houdini, DZ, us here now is really not us. You know what I'm saying? It's
exactly.
It's our ego self. But you could go past that easily. And the thing is that we don't even know our minds. I mean, they say we only use 3% or something like that. So think of all the 97% that we don't use. I mean, that's just as big as the universe. You know?
Exactly. And like,
but just opinion, though.
Oh no, that's a fact, man. You just stated a hardcore fact. That's a fact of life. That's pure knowledge in the form of factual information. The other 97% of reality that we cannot perceive is actually the only reality that exists. The five senses is an illusion.
Yeah.
It's like you just said.
What if we do perceive it, though, in our dreams?
Oh, you perceive it, you just don't understand what you are perceiving. So to you, like you said, in society, they teach you that the dream world is not real, and the world that you exist in when you're awake is what's real, and it's the opposite. Thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's something else, like about, my bad, like traveling through the dimensions, but in order to travel through, you use your mind to travel through those dimensions. Like,
what's it like, astral projection?
Yeah, like somebody was talking about that the other day, but my bad, I didn't mean that.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, I understand what you're saying. And it's funny that Houdini reached out to me on this topic because I had an accident, so I had been out of commission for a few months. But I'm always on Facebook, and I always use a hashtag. Like I say, this alchemy is very, very essential in my life at this point. Like I say, it's the passcode for all my electronic devices. But I use a hashtag whenever I'm on social media, the alchemy of macabre. And macabre is a Hebrew word for vehicle of light, which basically what they're saying is your aura, or your ethereal being, like you saying about being able to astral project. You actually exist on all 7 planes of reality at one time. We just don't know how to access all these different planes
like
at one time.
Like between them.
Yeah, exactly. We once had the capability of doing this. That's how humanity has accomplished things in the ancient past that modern man cannot even fathom. We can't even fathom some of the things the ancients have done on this earth.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Because it's like we don't even know what they really did way back then, 100,000 years ago. Because people were here. They were doing stuff,
Hey, man, it's written on the rocks what they were doing. We're just trying
you're right, man.
We're just trying to downplay it as something else.
Yeah, true.
You're right. And not even downplay it, man. It's like right now, like I say, the powers that be, they actually rewrite history in the form of unmeasurable amounts, man. It's like so many things going on at one time in the world right now that they just sweeping under the rug or trying to distract you with.
Oh, yeah.
Like, matter of fact, are y'all familiar with ley lines, or what they call energy meridians?
No,
I don't think so.
I've heard of ley lines, like they're supposed to be lines like right on the earth, right? But I don't know what they do. But I've heard about them, and they have energy, but I don't know what they're used for.
It's basically like you said about the chakra. I'm pretty sure everybody's familiar with acupuncture.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just like the technology or the science behind acupuncture, but it's on a universal scale. So basically what it is human beings are a reflection of the universe and the environment that they exist in. So
of course,
the ley lines are just like the chakras are the meridians in the human body, which are energy vortexes, or center points where energy inside of your body maximizes itself. Matter of fact, you spoke about Eternal Champions earlier. In a lot of video games, and even mythology itself and superheroes, just the nature of superheroes and mythology. A lot of these stories are based on a small hint of reality. Like most superheroes are, magic people or whatnot. Most of the time when they're using their magic, they're going to use it somewhere in these energy vortexes, usually the hands or somewhere above the head, like where that third eye is or that crown chakra. And what they're trying to tell you is these are the most powerful points on your body. And that's what acupuncture is, and that's what I was saying about the ley lines. But I don't want to get too far off the subject, man. I'm just trying to let y'all know how all of this stuff is tied in together. And the ancients understood that. They understood that no thing in this universe was separate from anything else. It's like what they call a fractal. You cannot separate the whole from its individual parts. It's impossible.
Yeah, because we're all one. And we're all on the same. We're all on the same wavelength too. Like if we all decide to, if we all channel together, like, and we all concentrate, even though we're in different spots, but we concentrate on it and really meditate on one thing together. It can happen like that, man. Like,
oh yeah.
And see, now people are on a higher frequency nowadays. But rather than back in like the 60s and 70s, you know, because all that was shunned upon, you know what I mean? Or the 70s is when it started breaking out, but like, you know, 60s, 50s, 40s or whatever, you know what I'm saying? All that was shunned upon, so the frequency was way low. But now everybody's on, they do daily yoga, they do daily meditation, they do things to get centered with themselves and the universe. So you think you get 1 million people doing that, you can, you know, do something.
Change the world overnight.
Yeah,
definitely.
And that's what they do not want. That's what they do not want.
No, not at all. Because it's like if you could be one with yourself and know, like, okay, well, all I got to do is look within, and then I can find peace whenever. And you don't have to be controlled by fear, right? Because good and bad are human concepts. There's only negative and positive.
But that wasn't until man thought about it.
What, negative and positive, or good and evil?
Both.
Well, no, because if you look in, like, when it comes to science, there's I mean, yeah, that's true. The word negative and positive, the words, that's true.
But you saying the actions were there, from the start?
Yeah. I would think so. Yeah, negative and positive. Energy was there from the start.
Oh, yeah. Energy is neither created nor destroyed. It just transforms and recycles itself.
Yeah.
And that's what we're dealing with when we talk about alchemy. You have to elevate your frequency to a level to where when this age that we are in, I think it's the age of Aquarius, which is coming to an end, and that's why you have so much of this energy clashing with itself, because the energy doesn't know how to direct itself. That's why we as humans are here to direct this energy. The energy doesn't know which way to go or nothing. The energy just exists. And it's our job to manipulate this energy, well, that's a bad word. Let me not use that word. It's our job to harness this energy and use it for the greater good of humanity and the universe, for the universe to grow and to prosper. Because all living organisms desire prosperity. They desire the ideal of reproducing and leaving their mark and contributing to the DNA of the universe. And DNA is nothing more than information. You know, most people, when people think of DNA, they think of blood or, human beings and whatnot. But in actuality, when you break DNA down, it's just information. That's all it is. It's just information. It's just light. That's all.
Yeah. What I wanted to say, what did I want to say? Okay, yeah. So, all right, so basically the Philosopher's Stone is within us, our pineal gland, which I didn't know. Thanks for that. I seen the other day on Facebook, what if the light at the end of the tunnel, at the end of the tunnel was us popping out of the womb again? because we actually do possess, you know, the ability of immortality, because energy is forever.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
What do you guys think about that?
And you have to come to that realization. If you don't come to that realization, then it won't manifest in your reality. So you'll just repeat this cycle over and over again.
I don't know about that makes sense what you're saying. Remanifest, like coming back over and over again until you like understand it. Yeah, because it's like after you understand it and you control it, then there's no reason to come back. You know what I'm saying? Why would you want to come back as a human anyway if you're able to manifest as anything you want?
Well, some souls, you know, because when we're talking about energy, the soul is energy too. So some souls, you know, make a conscious decision to come back.
Yup. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Humanity.
Yup.
And, you know, throughout history, they call them prophets, messengers, you know, things of that nature. But this was just a conscious soul that made a decision to come back to help humanity rise their vibration.
Light workers, too, I believe.
Yeah, light workers. All of these are synonymous with each other.
Yep. And you know, yeah. So that's, I mean, hey, it makes sense. Yeah.
If you look closely, like you said earlier, Houdini, when you started the broadcast, we're not debunkers. We just, you know, people who want to shed some light on things that, you know, we want to gain a better understanding of. So when you look at every major religion or every major spiritual school of thought in the world, in the history of the world, the main core of that system is what we're talking about transforming yourself
into
to rise above this illusionary world, to realize your true worth, so you can do the things that you are meant to do here on this planet.
Yeah.
You know, Christianity calls the Holy Ghost. Buddhists call it Nirvana. The Taoists, they call it, you know, I forget what they call it, but it's all the same thing. We all talking about the same thing.
That prana,
we just said it different.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's one of the more harder tasks that we have. You know, it's just unifying people to come to an understanding that we all the same. We might look different and speak different and wear different clothing, listen to different music, but essentially we are all the same. We come from the same source, and we all have the same mission here on Earth.
Yeah. I have a question. You were talking about, how they didn't want us to know about alchemy, right, and the secrets. And I used to read books on alchemy, and I would get lost. Like, it was really complex, but then I thought maybe it's all code, right, and puzzles. Like, I don't understand. It's only meant for the people that already know what it's about to know the secret, right? My question is, how do we harness the energy, like you were saying? What is the way to do that? Should we read books about it, or just meditate on ourselves? Or what would be the way to get to that level?
I tell people the greatest way to connect with this universe that you live in is to simply observe it. If you go outside and get into nature and just sit still for 5 minutes, I guarantee you'll have some type of insight into this reality that you did not have beforehand, just by simply sitting still and, meditating on your breath rising and fall of your chest and just observing the reality in which you live in. I guarantee you will come to some type of insight that will bring you closer to this universe, and you'll feel a part of it. You'll feel like you're alive with it. And I tell people all the time, sun gazing, what they call earthing, basically absorbing the free electrons from the earth's core, walking barefooted on grass. All of these things help. But a proper diet, getting plenty of water, getting plenty of rest, all of these things play a role. Because most of the time, the information is there. We just choose to ignore it. It's there already. Yeah. We just choose to ignore it. And we might not even know that we're doing it. It might be unbeknownst to us that we're doing it.
Yeah. But sometimes it'll get your attention, though.
Oh yeah, if it's meant for you to see something, I guarantee you're gonna know what's going on.
Yeah. Whether
you gonna know only for your eyes only. But let me ask you this: you said you read a lot about alchemy. Have you dealt any with healing stones or crystals or herbs or anything like that?
I do a lot of herb stuff for myself, like drink different kinds of herbal teas to heal myself, like, green and white tea for the DNA.
Okay.
Just different sleeping ones, like lemon verbena. It's like a sedative to, like, go to sleep and rest deeper. So, yeah, I do stuff like that. Never did crystals, and I read about alchemy, but I didn't understand it. I used to read a lot of, like, mystical texts, but I'd always get lost. And one of my friends that actually practiced that, he says, because that's not meant for you to understand. You have to be initiated in an order, and those people know what it means. That way, so if you try to do stuff, it's not going to work, and it's meant to be like that, a code that you can't understand. And I was like, forget it then. I'm not even going to read those books then unless I know what it means, So, yeah, it's just, when I was younger, I used to read a lot of stuff I didn't understand, but,
Well, he was right to a certain extent. It's like, they say about Masons. You have to know one to be involved or whatnot. But at the same time, a person who's taking it upon themselves on their own will to try to learn these things and become closer to this information, the universe will reveal these things to you anyway in a matter of time, because you have initiated yourself. You've initiated yourself. See, back in the ancient days, it was a need for secrecy because most people's frequency was not able to handle this type of energy. But like you said, today in modern times, that's irrelevant because so many people are waking up in droves right about now. It's time for this information to be released. Yeah. Everything has a season, and it's time right now. So that's the difference.
There's also a lot of people that shun it as well.
Well, they shunning it because they don't understand it.
Yeah.
That's a mass majority. Get on Facebook talking about it and watch how many friends you lose.
That's also a matter of perception.
Have you lost friends over that shit, man?
No, man, because I don't really talk about it like that.
Yeah, I guess maybe me. But I only have a select few friends. Like you guys I talk to it about, and then I have another buddy that I really talk to it about. But like my spiritual shit, I don't really open up to that really neither. Because people judge you,
I can testify. I've lost several friends and family members, just by living outside the box. People, starting to think, oh man, he's going crazy over there, man. What's wrong with him, man? But I put it like this, man. I always tell people like this. Your relationship with yourself, that's basically what we're talking about. Your relationship with yourself and your higher self is not meant for nobody else to understand.
Exactly.
So to hell with them. To hell with people. That's how I look at it.
For real, that's exactly right, though, man.
You can't really be genuinely, somebody that has love for me if something as simple as a way of thinking can make you not want to be around me no more, unless I feel like unless I'm bringing you into some type of negative circumstance with the things that I'm telling you, then, you have every right to not want to be around me and think crazy things about me. But if I'm telling you things to uplift your spirit that you just don't understand and you want to separate yourself, that means we need to separate anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I noticed though? It seems like a lot more people are, I don't know, maybe it's just the people that I've run into or see online or something, man, but they seem like a lot more people are becoming more spiritually open-minded.
You got to be careful of the fad or the wave too, because it's, anything that seems to be popular becomes a trend, and there's a lot of false flags and one way online but a different way in real life, fake it,
like
there's a bunch of fake woke communities.
Like he said earlier, I think this is I'm not sure, I can't really tell the voices, but I think that's Bagosi that spoke about reading the alchemy books.
Yeah.
Okay, you said something earlier. What you say?
Oh, yeah. I used to read them. I didn't understand them, though, so I stopped. But
yeah, you said something earlier, though, pertaining to what we're talking about now. About
Eternal Champion?
This being a No, I'm just saying about this being a trend or whatnot. And Houdini, I'm pretty sure you remember a couple of people went to school with us, man. It's like, you know, I don't know if I rubbed them the wrong way, but I was just being honest, man. And, you know, a lot of people just cannot deal with honesty, man. And I'd rather be honest with you than to sit and lie to you, you know. So basically what I'm noticing is, like what Bagosi said earlier about people's perspective, man. It's like your reality is based on your perspective.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So you know, so that's why I really don't, you know, try to shun people or bash them, but I will tell you the truth. So what I've noticed in lately is the homosexual community is trying to, you know, take things of a spiritual matter and make it fit their own perspective.
Yeah, I've been noticing that too. Like it kind of confused me a bit, and I was like, but then again, that's that pre-programmed, you know. But it's just, I don't know, dude. I don't know. You know?
It's crazy, man, because I had a conversation.
I don't know what you're talking about. That's new.
Dude, yeah, they're trying to incorporate. Go ahead, dude. You explain it, because I've only seen it a couple times.
I'm gonna give Houdini a prime example of what I'm talking about. I'm gonna get personal, man, because you know these people.
Okay.
That we were all musicians together in high school. I don't want to call any names, man, but I'm pretty sure if I can tell you what instrument they played, you can pretty much put two and two together. One of them was on the drum line with me, played bass drum, a young female. The other one was a saxophone player, you know, another female. Both of them, for lack of a better term, fair-skinned, or you know, what the Bible calls high yellow, fair-skinned or whatever. So I had a conversation with the bass drum player, and I asked her, I said, so you know what the that you wear a lot represents, right? Because she on the deep end to the point where she's starting to take, you know, the hormones and steroids and stuff to actually make herself look like a man. So, you know, I told her...
That one, yeah.
He's like, that one.
Wow.
You still have love for her. You still don't. But what I tried to explain to her is, when you're talking about the it's just like I was saying about feng shui and tai chi, the yin and the yang. It's the same concept. That's what it was that I was trying to think of earlier, the towers. But anyway, it's the same concept. The 6-point star, all of these things represent the same thing, and that's the incorporation or the balancing of two counterpart energies, the male and the female energy, which is essentially electromagnetic energy. Electricity being the man and magnetism being the female. So I asked her, I said, now how is it possible that you can have this energy with two men or two women? And, you know, she went on the deep end trying to justify her way of thinking. And I'm like, no, you can't do that. You cannot do that, man. When you're talking about this stuff, and I think Bagosi, going back to what you said, piggybacking on what you said again earlier, people, their perspective and their understanding is at a minimal to where if they can't make it make sense to them, they're going to just run with it and just, you know, go into whatever they want to make to them. And you just can't do that, because then at that point, you get into semantics, man, and that's when it gets confusing.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought about when you said about things being trendy. It's real trendy to seem like you're enlightened or to seem like there's some type of knowledge that other people don't. When in actuality...
trying to be like more spiritually, feeling more spiritually enlightened than another person or whatever.
Yeah, but that's the ego. That's just your ego fooling.
That's that bullshit.
Yeah, the ego, exactly.
That's bullshit.
Because it's really all about connecting with your fellow man in order to raise this universe to the level that we supposed to be in. Because if you want to be honest about it, we kind of behind the 8 ball, man. I believe the universe has been stagnant for at least a few millennia here, all because of mankind losing himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
We kind of like late bloomers right now, man.
Well, they were trying to start it off in the 70s, man.
Yeah, but, you know, and that's another thing, the misinformation in this world, man, because when you're talking about the Philosopher's Stone, you know, during World War II, Hitler was, you know, on a rampage, going to a lot of different places, and people were like, why is this guy in the Himalayas? Why is this guy in Antarctica? Because Hitler had some access to some knowledge that mankind did not know about. Because if you know anything about World War II, Hitler went into Africa. And just like Napoleon, when Napoleon went into Africa, after Napoleon came out of Africa, that's when you had this rise in technology. It started off with the discovery of electricity. Then after electricity, you get the telephone, the telegram, the transatlantic railroad. All of these things came about once they went into Africa and started digging up a lot of those papyruses and started to figure out, hey, these people were on to something, man. Not even just, you know, in Africa, Asia, parts of South America, Middle America, Mesoamerica, even here in America. Man, it's thousands of hidden temples that show that people have unlocked that Philosopher's Stone to be able to accomplish a lot of these feats that we say.
Yeah, and you got to think about it. I wanted to mention it earlier, but the people of our past, they had nothing but time on their hands to explore the universe. Like right now where we have jobs and distractions with, you know, fast clicks, Facebook, what they call direct target marketing, where, you know, you're talking on the phone. Like me and Half Easy, we'll talk about something, and the next thing I know, I go on Google and I see what I was looking, what we were talking about in my ads over here. So you know, yeah. Like we could be talking about it. We could be talking about a guitar, and then the next time I go on Google to search for something, there's an ad about a guitar. It never fails. Never fails.
Yeah, that's
so there's all kind of distractions. So we're not, you know, sitting out in the wilderness just thinking about how the stars connect. Because you got to think, man, these people created the calendar just from the sun turning.
Yeah. And fucking math and all kinds of crazy shit.
Math.
I mean,
all kind of
the astrology. I mean, geez. I mean, how the fuck? They didn't even have shit that we got today. I mean, we got satellites in the fucking solar system and shit, and they're like, yeah, these stars mean this shit, or you know what I mean? Like just
languages,
whatever.
Constellation.
Yo.
You right about this, man.
Yo, what's
about
up,
the distractions. Andre 3000 had made a very profound statement one time. Back when Southern music had first hit the scene on mainstream, you know, Southern music has always existed, but it was never in the mainstream. So when Southern hip hop first became relevant on the hip hop scene, Andre 3000 said something to the effect of the person interviewing him asked him, so what makes this music so much more unique? Because you guys have a sound what you call crunk, and it just sounds so much more livelier and in tune with things. And he said something that just blew my mind, man. He said, look, when you're talking about the South, you're talking about an environment where people are more in tune with their environment. We don't have the big hustle and bustle of the cities, the fire sirens and all of this noise or background or whatever, distractions. We like in the South, we have more of a rural type of environment. So we're more in touch with nature as far as the birds singing and the insects chirping or whatever. These are the things that influences our music, and it's reflected in our own soul. And I said, wow, man, that is very, very instrumental in a lot of things. Because even some of the greatest writers and poets come from the South. And I think that can explain that as well. That they're a lot more in tune in not even just the South, in rural America. People are more in tune with themselves.
And more inventive, too.
Exactly, because they have less distractions, like you were saying earlier. And that plays a big role in this, what we're talking about. Because, like, right now, you could, like you said earlier when you started the broadcast, if you start your day off just accepting that today is a beautiful day simply because I'm alive, no matter what happens, the odds are infinite what can happen in that day. But if you turn yourself off as soon as you wake up, like, oh, man, I got to get up and be an adult today and be responsible, your day is going to go like that for the rest of the day, man. It's like,
for the rest of the day.
It's like you the master. You the master of your own destiny, man.
Exactly. That's so true.
But I know it's hard, man, because, you know, like Facebook, for example, or social media, period. It's like, you know, if you don't have a nice following of positive people, you can find yourself being easily distracted by nonsense and foolery, man. And to be honest, it's like being a psychiatrist, man. Eventually, you're going to take on the personalities of the people that you're trying to help. You know, like you just scrolling your timeline, man, looking like, oh my God, man, this is crazy, man. You're going to start to you're going to start to be influenced by these people's thoughts.
It's true.
Crazy. Yep.
I've noticed that sometimes, like if on social media, that's why I got off Twitter, because I followed a bunch of people that follow me back to get followers, but it's a bunch of crazy thoughts. I'm thinking, I'm letting all these random thoughts into my head every time I read these, and some of these are very negative thoughts. And I noticed it caused me stress. The minute I got off there, or I just don't check all the social media that much, and I get no stress, you know what I mean? Like I go out to nature, I go by the lake, by the trees, like you said, where the birds are at, where the moon is shining on the water, and then I feel inner peace. Everything's perfect, you know. Have a beer, maybe, you know. But yeah, that's a very good point.
But back to the Philosopher's Stone, though.
Yeah.
Like I said, when we talking about the elements, and that's another thing, man. Back in the ancient world, I'm always go back to the ancient world, because a lot of these things that we experience in modern day, it's an illusion. It's not even an illusion. It's a fucking lie, man. I don't know if I can curse on here, man, but I'm sorry.
Wow.
I get emotional. I get emotional about this, because so many of our people that came before us sacrificed their lives for what we're talking about right now. And for us to be able to freely talk about this, it's a blessing, man, because people lost their lives for this type of knowledge that we're talking about. And nobody should lose their life for anything, man, but especially knowledge, man. Knowledge is supposed to be free and infinite. So I could just imagine living back during the Spanish Inquisition and, you know, the Dark Ages and all of that stuff, man, where you had to pretend like you were an idiot, because your brain power would get you killed.
Mm-hmm.
So I really believe that, like, the work we're doing here is instrumental, and it's needed, man, because a lot of people are always looking for answers. They want to live a different way. They just don't know how. They know that what they're doing, it seems, you know, orchestrated, and somebody else is pulling these strings to make you behave the way you do, but it's hard to pinpoint that when you don't see it right there in your face. It's so camouflaged, man, to the point where it frustrates people, like you just said, about people having to go to work every day, man. You know, you spend more time on your job than you do with your actual family and loved ones. It's something very wrong with that picture, man. It's something very, very wrong with that picture. And it's like that for a reason. So you don't start to get in touch with yourself, you know, and figure out how powerful you really are as a human being.
Well, I mean, it's all a part of that psychological warfare that we're eternally fighting.
Spiritual warfare, too. Exactly. But us, as those who can see through that, we have a duty and a responsibility to do what we're doing now. Because if it's not done, then it'll never happen. Like I said, the universe will be stagnant forever. And before the universe lets herself just wither away, she'll get rid of everything that is causing her harm, just like your body. You're a living organism too. Before your body succumbs to death, it will fight off whatever it is that's trying to destroy it to the best of its ability. Right. And the earth is no different. The earth is no different. It reminds me of another Keanu Reeves movie, The Day the Earth Stood Still. The alien intelligence told him in that movie that the human race is just a minute creation in this universe. We are not special like we think we are. And basically what the intelligent life form was telling him was, look, we had to make a executive decision to just, gather up as many of the organisms that we felt were doing their part in this universal ecosystem and send them to another dimension while we destroy y'all, because y'all are destroying this world. And in exchange of destroying your world, it's destroying the world that it exists in, which is the universe. And we can't have that happen because universal law won't allow that. And that's what I try to tell people all the time, man. The law of the land is man-made. The universal law trumps that each and every time. But when you fall victim to, man, we all do it. I'm guilty of it too. We all do it. You fall victim to, man, well, I got to go pay my bills, man. You don't really have to do that. Somebody told you did, and you fell for that illusion. Like, I posted something the other day about human beings claim to be at the top of the food chain, but yet and still, we the only ones that pay rent on the planet. Yeah. You don't see no other animals. You don't see birds and monkeys and gorillas. Man, I got to hurry up and hustle up on $200 or they going to kick me out the jungle, man.
Yeah, that's real talk.
At that point, can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. At that point, that's where the my perception on man-made words is logic and reason. Like what we think is more logical and reasonable to do versus what is actually true. Like the statement you're making, that's actually true. Like we are the only people that do that, and we're supposed to be the most powerful people. And then those people that realize that, I don't know if a lot of people in the IRS are actually spiritual or anything like that, but for those people who actually back away from that field and realize, like, look, like I don't have to do this. You're just telling me I have to do this just because it's your reason is wanting more money, wanting more of something that can be done away with. But there's obviously a higher level of thinking and playing level that everybody is supposed to be on right now. So logic and reason has nowadays, I feel like, so much overthrown truth. So it's like what feels right to you. Basically goes back to perception. Be the main reason why a lot of people think what we're talking about is like seriously crazy. Understanding oneself, understanding themselves is not supposed to be possible because it's not logical and it's not reasonable with what society has already formed for us.
Yeah.
Okay, I agree 1,000% with that statement.
Definitely. What's up, Jarrell?
What's up, man? I've been waiting to try to chime in.
Yeah, man, you got to jump in, bro.
I see.
From all directions.
Well, I'm here, y'all.
All right, well, we have about 9 more minutes. So.
Who you say just chimed in, Houdini? I didn't catch it.
Jarrell.
Oh, that's the other host you said you were waiting on?
No, that he never showed up.
Okay.
From San Diego.
Okay. All right, well, I'm at, like we've been saying the whole time, man. It's all about perception and level of understanding our spiritual growth, you know, because a lot of people blockade themselves, like I said, without them even knowing. And it's all based on fear. You know, like people not having confidence in themselves, or insecurities, or, you know, just demons or skeletons in their closet, or things from their past that stem into that, you know, adulthood that they never conquered. That's not allowing them to reach their full potential. That's really you are your only enemy, man. Nobody else outside of yourself can do anything to you. It's what you allow yourself to succumb to.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But us as humans, like you said, Houdini, when you opened up the segment, you said you want to talk about LOVE. That's really what it's all about, man.
Yeah.
If a person perceives love in everything that they experience and everything that they come into contact with, then you will breeze through life with no problems, man.
Yeah. That's crazy that you bring that up, man. You're right. Absolutely right.
Yes, sir.
And like when you told me what the subject matter was, it like sent chills up my spine, man, because like that's like the main focal point of my studies right now is the alchemical process of transforming, or this metamorphosis that we are trying to undergo as an individual in return for, you know, on a global scale. Because once you wake up on this level, you're going to automatically wake other people up. And I'm not even saying going out and preaching like, you know, like Jesus did, you know, in the wilderness or whatnot. I'm just saying that once you realize and see that light within yourself, it's going to change you into a point where you're going to live a certain way, and people are going to see that. You're going to lead by example, and they're going to look at you and be like, well, I want some of what that guy's got, man. I'll take 2 of those, you know?
Yeah.
Man, look, man, it's going to build up in you so much you can't help but tell somebody, even if it's just one person. Like, you're learning so much. You're gaining, your knowledge is expanding, like you're on that quest for knowledge, and it feels so good to just, hey man, let me let you in on what I just learned. And that's going to happen naturally, because it's like, you know, it's like pressure in a water bottle.
Yeah.
Or how can I say it? Yeah, pressure in a water bottle. Enough pressure, that bottle's going to explode. Mm-hmm. And that water's going to come gushing out, wetting up everything around it. And that's what happens with knowledge. You put all this knowledge in, you cramming. I mean, you remember that cartoon Rocko's Modern Life? In the beginning, they're cramming his head with knowledge. And that's how it is. Like, we're putting all this knowledge into us. We're watching videos. We're studying. We're even, you know, like me and Half Deezy, man, we're always having conversations about different things that we're learning. And it's just amazing, man. Like, 3 years ago, we these kind of topics we weren't even talking about.
No.
You know, and it's just amazing how we've grown as humans, you know. So it's like when we're having conversations that we both can relate to, you know, and not feel alienated.
Yeah, on a spiritual level too, man. Like, and it's just crazy because, like, I took a 12-week, you know, inner sensitivity class for teaching of the inner Christ. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never thought I would have did some shit like that. But it's all about exactly what we've been talking about here. You know, it's really weird because it all ties into each other. And so, yeah, it's cool how we evolve on our own, and then all of us learn this shit on our own. Nobody's telling us, nobody's forcing us to do it at a church on Sunday or in the middle of the week during a study group of, you know what I'm saying? Like, not the normal shit that we were beating to our head.
Yeah. So hey, I have a question. This is going back to alchemy and what today, or even, you know, back in the ancient times, their perception of alchemy was supposed to be transforming metal into gold, basically something that has no value into value, correct? Mm-hmm. So what if that concept wasn't even that concept? What if it was supposed to be, we were not on this level of thinking, and so much shit goes on in our life getting crammed into our subconscious mind and not understanding our third eye or anything like that. And in that process of us going through life, our subconscious mind started to seep into our conscious mind, transforming a dull mind into something of value. But since it can't be, used to buy things, it's just basically self-knowledge. What if that was the real concept of alchemy? Transforming one's perception and one's understanding of everything around it.
Yeah, I think that's what he was saying earlier. And the book that I was reading, that I told you that I read about Saint-Germain, his book is on alchemy. And, or it's an alchemy book. I was telling Houdini about it. It's like 4 books or 5 books in one. And in the beginning, he tells you, like, most people who get into alchemy, they just want to turn something into gold. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's their whole thing. And it's, from what he says in his
immortality.
book... Or immortality, yeah. And what he says in his book is that it ain't about that at all. It's about changing yourself. And he's like, I'm going to teach you how to do all that stuff. But the thing is when you create those things like that, it's not out of purity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's like y'all was saying earlier about,
and you have to pay for it too. You have to pay for it.
Yeah, that's
the law of exchange. You know what? We didn't even talk about the law of exchange.
No, that's another subject. We got to
the price that comes with it, with alchemy. And before we get off here, I wanted to put something in you guys' mind. What do you think about modern day alchemy, where we have scientists mixing genes from, creating pigs that, produce.
You already know my thoughts on that one, man. That's a whole nother episode. You already know.
The geno seeds that people are putting patents on, for creating crops and fruit and vegetables that have been manipulated. GMO foods. They're trying to create a better human. That's all alchemy.
Yeah,
that's all going to what that is. The remedy for that is a 12-gauge shotgun with slugs. That's the remedy. Because when it comes at your door,
shit right there.
Because when it comes at your door, what are you gonna do? You know what I mean?
But they'll never succeed in all of that, man. Because
that's the bad part.
All of that goes against the natural order of what is meant for. Like we said, we live in a dualistic society, man. Our dualistic universe. You got a left hand and a right hand for a reason. So you're gonna have those people that try to use these things for their own advantage instead of for what it's meant for, and like we said, for the upliftment of humanity as a whole. You're gonna have those people, but these things will never succeed. It'll never.
And what always happens? The fucking earth gets wiped the fuck out, and it starts over again.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's really some Resident Evil shit.
And it does that for a reason. But once you absorb your energy to a level of what we're talking about, unlocking that Philosopher's Stone, you become immune to all of these things. None of these things will even harm you, because your aura is so strong to where these things will just roll off of you like water on the duck.
And you can close your aura too. You can close your aura. Like, you don't have to walk around with your aura open all the time. If you close your aura,
I do that shit.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You have to close your aura every day. You should do it when you wake up in the morning and before you go to bed. Or if you get around negative people or anybody that's just, you got to, because they'll suck the shit. They'll either come too close to you, or you know what I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you can't pull in shit that you're not even trying to pull in, like just by having it open all day,
Yup.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of spirits and deities and shit like that. Yeah.
And like you were saying, close it whenever you go to sleep, because most of the time when people don't close it when they go to sleep, that is the reason why they astral project.
Man, that's crazy, yo. That's cool. Yeah, that's what's up.
I guess we'll
I know I've
people
done
don't
it.
know about that. People
I've
don't
done
know
it,
about
man.
closing your aura, yo. People do not know about closing their aura. Yeah.
Or that, closing their aura. Yeah, that's an interesting topic.
I've actually astral projected by not understanding how to close it. It took me a while to figure it out and even to read it. And the first time I actually noticed that I had the ability, I actually astral projected one time, and it shit scared me.
I couldn't imagine.
It was crazy.
So, how much time we have left, Houdini?
Man, we're out of time. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, man. I was like, oh man, I knew it was gonna be too good to be true, because I know these type of things, fun, man. Yeah, you should definitely have a part 2 to this segment, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Just about it in general. I think just Skeptix. That's why he created Skeptix. Y'all created. That's why y'all created Skeptix. Just to talk about it in general, man. You know what I mean? I was talking with one of my buddies that I was in the Army with, and I've known him a while, and we talk about stuff like this. And we were just talking about you can't talk to a normal person. What you would consider normal, or anyone would consider normal, I guess, for argument's sake, about stuff like that, really, because they'll look at you like you're fucking insane. Like somebody needs to slap a straitjacket on you and throw you in a fucking padded room. Because back then they used to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You can tell from a person's energy, though, man. That vibration is going to give off.
Before you even say anything like that, you know.
Yeah, you ever walked into a room full of people and you immediately felt uncomfortable?
Yeah.
That's usually what you gonna feel when you can tell by a person's body language and just their energy that they not ready to receive that frequency.
I look for tattoos and symbols.
You say you look what now?
Look at tattoos and symbols.
Well, I can't speak on the way.
I got a Baker Act code tattooed on me.
Yeah, I got a few tattoos. I probably regret it, so I'm glad I know you personally, because if you met me and didn't know me, you'd be like, oh man, this guy, what the hell's wrong with this dude?
Yeah, dude. No, see, I got 5150 hold tattooed on my forearms. So when I go into like therapy, or I have to go talk to someone at the VA, they're always looking down at my arms, and they're mental health doctors, so they're probably trying to figure out why the fuck does he have that tattooed on his forearm? I don't know why he's got, a code like that tattooed on, but.
Hey, that's crazy. Me and Johanna was in a group called 5150 Regime.
I was going to ask him, did he know that?
Oh, really? No.
Yeah, it's like, man, the synchronicity in this whole conversation is just monumental, man. Dude, that's why I say
Houdini found our group 5150 Hold. That's how he didn't find me as Half Deezy. He found me as 51 as a group that I was in with one of my homies.
Okay, so what spoke to you about that 5150? How did the 5150 speak to you?
Well, it was mainly because what it stood for. It was mainly the concept that we had behind it is that we were two mental patients who escaped from the mental ward. You know what I'm saying? So, and 5150 Hold is code for, you know what it stands for, right?
Yeah.
So that was basically the basis behind it. And our music was horrorcore. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't anything like spiritual or, it wasn't really like that. Now, we had a symbol and shit. Josh actually came up with the symbol. I think Houdini's probably seen it. But there was some shit behind it, you know what I'm saying? But we haven't fucking been a group in, 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, it's old. I still talk to Josh Houdini. I still talk to him.
Yeah.
It's about the same with us, man, because I still remember like it was yesterday. I asked you, Houdini, where did where did the numbers come from? And you was like, well, you know about police codes, we got a 41,
shit.
He was like, man, that's what it is. He's like, it's police code for, you know, a belligerent person. And I was like, wow, man. And like we were just saying, when you talk like this, most people think you are belligerent or delirious.
Boy, you're crazy. Yup.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So when he said this, I was like, oh my God, man, that is perfect, man. That is like, oh my God, that was like sent from heaven to you, man. That was perfect.
I know it's really fucking weird.
You've been putting 5150 in the universe, and now everybody says it. It's a DJ.
Yeah, and what's even crazier? Yeah, what's even crazier is that all three of us evolved, and we're all still on the same wavelength. You know, from where we were back in high school to, I mean, me, you, and Shemaine, our countryverse, can actually have a conversation about this, about, you know, Kemet energy, and that's the crazy part. Because back then we probably wasn't on that. Even though we were different in our own ways, but we wasn't like now. Yeah. Now it's really 5150 to everybody else.
Yeah. Like, and the crazy thing about that is, like we were saying earlier, sometimes people block their own, you know, realization of these things. And basically, we were, you know, all we were doing was just regurgitating something inside of us that we didn't even know what it was.
Yep.
Yeah. Hey, y'all, I got to bounce out, though. I just wanted to say peace and shit without fucking, you know. But it was a good show, y'all.
All right, Daisy.
Okay, man. It was nice talking to everybody.
Much love, man.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night, man. I'll talk to y'all soon.
All right, bro.
Cool, bro.
Okay.
Peace, bro.
Later.
All right, man. I guess we all should hop off here. We're way over time.
Okay. Yeah, you don't get penalized for that, or not?
No.
Okay. All right, man. Like I say, man, my line always open, man. Whenever, you know, I'm always open, man. If I can fit my schedule in to chime in, I'm always willing to, man. So just keep in touch with me, Houdini, man. Let me know, and we go from there, man. I enjoyed it as always, bro.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, and I'm working on another project, man, that I want you a part of too, man. Something for Mississippi, our community, and I think you'll really want to get involved in.
Oh, you already know, man. Definitely let me know, man, so I can, you know, get the rubber hitting the road, man, and do my homework.
Yes, sir. And for the record, like, a lot of people see your transformation, and a lot of people, me and you know, and they're like, hey, man, Johnny's crazy. It's like, nah, Johnny's alive.
Oh, shit, yeah, you ain't telling me nothing.
Leave that man alone. Yeah, leave that man alone. He's alive.
Like, everybody from school always like, man, why you ain't coming to the reunions and all of this? I'm like, man, fuck a reunion, bro. The people that's monumental and instrumental in my life that I went to school with, I can pick the phone up right now and call them. The rest of y'all, I don't give a fuck about y'all, man. Because I know what type of people I'm dealing with.
Yeah.
I already know. Like, you like the fifth person to tell me that, man. And I'm just waiting for my opportunity to come into contact with one of these assholes so I can really set the record straight like you just said.
You know that.
Because you know what that really is, though. I almost called you Gizmo, man. You know what that really is. What that really is jealousy, man. That's all that is. Anytime you fix your mouth to talk ill will or ill fate upon somebody else, that's just jealousy, man. That's all it is.
Oh, yeah.
And like I said, nobody's opinion is going to pay my rent, so I could care less, man.
Exactly.
Definitely.
But yeah, I appreciate the opportunity, man. Like I said, you always know how to reach me, man. I'm more than willing to do whatever I can, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, guys, thanks for inviting me, Houdini, and thank you. What was your name again, my friend?
You can call me Johanna, man.
Johanna?
Yeah. It's my name in Hebrew. Yeah,
all right,
it's
cool.
my name in Hebrew.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, Johanna, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, man. And I think we're on the same wavelength because I was thinking about the stuff, not exactly alchemy, but I was thinking about, like, I hold back and I want to release my real potential this year, my full potential, and not hold back. And, man, this was like meant to happen. So thank you guys for inviting me and sharing your wisdom and letting me speak a little bit on the show. Thank you so much, man. I really enjoyed tonight. It was great.
I enjoyed it as well, man. I enjoyed everybody's input, man. I'm looking forward to doing it again.
Oh, definitely, yes.
All right, man.
All right, guys. I'm gonna end the show with a song.
All right.
This is a group from New Orleans called know-thyself.
This right here is for my people, all of my people, wherever you at. This was for you. I want you to lay back and vibe out to this. Because this right here, this that music that's gonna get your mind right. Heard?
This one is for my people. Niggas don't even know how much I really love you. No one in this world is evil, faking, thinking they persuasive, talking about take it or leave it. Easy, I think that I leave it, even if it means we gon' be beefing for any reason. I'm never committing treason against the camp. Seasoned veteran, he's a better man. Understand that we can never let any man divide the design of the divine when she's fulfilling plans. Seldom do they measure up to us, that's the difference. We on a bigger scale. If it's real, listen here, shit is raw. Put us up on a fish scale with some kilograms. My love is unconditional, but it's getting cold when it comes to doing the math, and I don't see no reciprocals. It's difficult, so I'm sitting alone, thinking about how I was raised and how I have grown, and how some of my people changed out on this road when we vowed to never be torn. We could have had everything we ever dreamed of when we teamed up, but seems it was never enough. We could have had everything we ever dreamed of when we teamed up, but seems it was never enough. Now it's gone.
Thank you so much for taking out this time to think about the price we pay each day while we out here trying to find any way, every way to make it out here every day. Many get lost on this road from being led astray, but I see better days ahead. Yeah, I see better days.
We're gonna send this one out to all the children of the world in the eyes of the Most High.
Yeah, I see better days.
Sending this one out to all the children in my town and my people in Chi-Town. It's a state of emergency cause it hurts me whenever I see we out here being shot down. How many mothers gonna have to lose their sons? How many brothers gonna have to be put under? How many innocent little children have to get caught up in a mix just cause somebody tripped? If it's over hoes, why everybody poked? And if it's over though, why everybody broke? I bet you that we deserve better, yet due to vendettas we settle for less. The message has never been clearer, we must suffer from some type of fear of coming together. Therefore, since you didn't want to listen, they building more prisons, and guess what? They filling up with niggas. Still, what's the fucking difference if you're reckless out here acting ignorant? What could have happened if you would have practiced wisdom, realizing only when it's too late after the system tricks them to throw their life away? Is it right? No way. It's sickening thinking how would a price to pay? Our mission is really for a brighter day when the sky is gray that we facing and waiting for the sun just to shine our way.
Thank you so much for taking out this time to think about the price we pay each day while we out here trying to find any way, every way to make it out here every day. Many get lost on this road from being led astray, but I see better days ahead. Yeah, I see better days. Boy, I see better days. Yeah, I see better days.
Better days. That's all I see. That's all you should see. You know? Ain't nothing to look down for. Look within yourself. That's where you're gonna find your greatest potential. Between that and the Most Highs, nothing can stop us. It's been a long time that we've been striving, overcoming obstacles and hurdles. Still ain't stop us. Still here, still standing. So that tells it all.
You're now listening to GNO Sounds, Better Days.
So my people from New Orleans to Chi-Town and all the way around, hold it down.
Thank you. my Vigilantes family, as always, for checking out my podcast over here at Vigilantes Radio. All episodes are available for free download, and you can grab that from either Spreaker.com/only1media group, iTunes, YouTube, any app that's on a Google Play or iTunes store, or our website. And that goes from every single episode that we've ever aired. If you'd like to request music or a particular guest or send something for me to play, email it to vradio@only1mediagroup.com. If it's music, please label it by artist and title. Here's my disclaimer. We are genre free, we do not judge, and we absolutely do not base our opinions on hearsay but facts alone. And actually, you can scratch all of that because all of my opinions are always right. That's the bottom line. This is my show, so deal with it. Nah, just kidding. On behalf of myself, Danny Mussolini, I appreciate all you guys for tuning in, either afterwards or live with us. Spread the word because sharing is caring. We stepped up our game just for you guys and our guests to make sure that you have the best experience here on our show. Be sure to connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, as well as Spreaker. We always follow back. That is the number one rule. Okay, well, just remember to be yourself and be absolutely great at just doing that. Avoid being too comfortable because you're messing with your potential when you do that. Peace and have a good night.
You are now listening to Vigilantes Radio, the people's choice for quality interviews, art, music, and hot topics. Hosted by Demetrius Houdini Black Reynolds of the duo No Longer the Hero. All episodes of this podcast are available for free download at www.only1mediagroup.com. This is a Seventh Sign Regime Rebirth Worldwide Syndicate exclusive.